I just won the greatest gift of all time as a lover of Christmas. Magic! A magic Christmas hat? Oh my god. Is this what getting the love for Christmas is? Oh, I love it. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was all a dream? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I just slept through the whole season? A few days ago, 21st. A couple of days ago, 22nd. The other day, 23rd. Yesterday, 24th. Today, the 25th of December. Tomorrow's the 26th of December. Today's the 25th. That love of Christmas is mine! Ho, ho, ho.
Filming Daniel.
Hey guys, it's Daniel here, and, well, it's the big day. Merry Christmas! Woo! Merry Christmas to all of you. It's that big time of the year again. Oh, the festivities. I love it all. And, well, I can't miss the opportunity to give you all a Christmas video for this year. So, what am I going to be reviewing on the very special day this year? Well, remember, earlier in this year, during my 6th anniversary special, I did a review of the Icelandic children's TV show LazyTown, and I think that it was definitely a big kick in the heart for nostalgia that I have. But some of you might be wondering, what is LazyTown? Well, could we cue the old footage, Stuart? LazyTown is an Icelandic children's show created by gymnast and athlete Magnus Scheving, and it aims to teach children about the healthiness of their body and also the fun of sports, as well as the fun of anything in the town of LazyTown, which doesn't seem to be going through any sort of funness, because every person in LazyTown seems to be, well, lazy. They play video games, eat candy, and don't do a lot of things that are active. And when the little bubbly girl named Stephanie, played by Juliana Rose Moriello in the first 2 seasons and Chloe Lang in season 3 to 4, arrives in LazyTown to stay with her uncle Milford, who is the mayor of LazyTown, she realises that her summer here isn't going to be as fun if there's no fun to be had with the other children in LazyTown. So, Stephanie calls upon the help of an athletic superhero named Sporticus, played by Magnus Scheving himself, to help these kids feel more active, but also be free to find their energetic personalities and be themselves around this town too. But it won't be easy for Sporticus and Stephanie to help these kids, because an incredibly lazy villain by the name of Robbie Rotten, played by the late Stephen Carl Stephenson, wants LazyTown to be just as lazy as he is. So he comes up with these different schemes and disguises to keep them, you know, relaxed and non-active nature. And from here on, characters, musical numbers, hilarious moments, and strong nostalgia ensues. It's a very endearing and nostalgic show with so much to offer. It has bright, colourful visuals. The live action actors all put their hearts into their performances, especially the late Stephen Carl Stephenson as Robbie Rotten, and it also gives us some very energetic puppet characters, which is the kids in LazyTown. But it also has its own sense of humour and heart to it. So, I thought, for this year's Christmas special review of the film in Daniel, I will be giving you guys my reviews of 2 special Christmas episodes of LazyTown. So sit back, relax, get your mug of hot chocolate, and enjoy my reviews of the LazyTown Christmas specials. To start off with, let's talk about the first Christmas special episode of LazyTown. This one is called LazyTown's Surprise Santa. In this episode, the residents of LazyTown, including Sporticus, Stephanie, Stingy, Trixie, Pixel, Ziggy, the mayor, and Miss Busybody, are all getting ready for the festive time of the year, while Robbie Rotten, in his lair, notices that presents are going to be given to all of these residents, so he decides to greedily steal all of the presents. But first, he needs a little something to get rid of Sporticus, so he times a cannon to shoot a snowball, aiming it directly at where Sporticus will be sitting for Christmas dinner, and he also sneaks into their house while everybody is out, dressed as Santa Claus to start feasting on everybody's gifts. But will he realise that there's more to Christmas than gifts? I think that this episode does a fantastic job giving us a Christmassy atmosphere, because remember when I said that the colours in LazyTown are very vibrant and wonderful to look at? Well, they definitely use that to their advantage in this episode for the Christmas time, because this episode is mainly set, I would say, around the daytime, but the thing is that probably around the daytime, because nowadays in December, when it's still daytime and late afternoon, it does get darker. So I'm guessing it's like late afternoon till the evening in this episode. But the blueness of the sky really gives it wow, this is like a starry night, and the snow around it, both combined, there's something about it that makes me feel so warm and fuzzy about it, and it really enchanted my love for the season. And many props that they use, like the decorations and the presents, the look of the presents I think are really big and very unique to look at, and it also gives us a very colourful atmosphere for the season. This is also one hilarious episode too. There's many moments that did have me chuckling many times, whether it's Robbie's antics or something from the LazyTown residents. There's a particular scene where Stingy's looking through the gifts, and I won't give away the punchline of the joke, but it was hilarious, and it's like, I saw you, Stingy, I saw what you did there. Yeah, it's funny. And as always, our characters are just their regular, energetic and enthusiastic selves, but they do learn a few little morals now and again. Like Ziggy, for example, is getting really excited for the festive season. The trouble is that he's been eating so much candy around the time that it really enhances his hyper energetic bubbliness, to the point where it does cause a few little problems, and there are a few casualties throughout it. And he learns that he knows that he has to calm down a bit with his candy, but he knows that it's a problem, and he'll work hard to fix it, so he knows how to take a chill pill. While Stingy is looking through the people's gifts, wondering, hang on a second, everything should be mine. It's mine! Why should I give away gifts? I wouldn't say he learns too much, but he does discover a few little things about what the meaning of giving is around the Christmas time. And this is something that actually kind of translates into the next Christmas special, which we're about to talk to later on. I also love the energetic nature of Sporticus during this episode, because we can tell he loves the holidays, and we can see that through the opening of the episode, because he decorates his house at the opening of the episode, red baubles all over his airship. I think that it really gives wow, he really knows how to over-decorate for the festive times. He definitely knows the Christmas season. But he also has time to both save people in danger, because he never rests as a superhero, while also making time to have fun with the kids. from building a snowman with Stephanie to joining the Christmas dinner. It really is like an example of how much of a big kid at heart Sportacus is. But of course, the main thing that really drives my attention to the episode is Robbie Rotten himself. As always, his villainous antics are the ones that steal the show, because not only does he come up with really hilarious lines now and again, but whenever he has to transform into his Santa transformation and his disguise, it can lead to so many funny moments, because he never rests as a master of disguise. He always gives his all into becoming the character that he is portraying, and he also is having to make time now and again for any LazyTown residents who could mistake him for the real Santa Claus, and he can't blow them off or his cover will be revealed. So he has to like both pull off his scheme and also improvise now and again when something gets in the way. That's what makes Robbie such a clever antagonist. At the same time, the episode does show a little bit of remorse later on in the episode, because he does like learn a few things now and again, and he does actually kind of redeem himself a few times towards the end. And I think it's, as someone who loves this character, I just can't help but feel so much fuzziness and like giddy joy watching him kind of soften up a bit. It's a really cool character development, but he does go back to his old villainous ways towards the end, which you might think is kind of a cop-out, but I don't know, it does kind of make sense because Robbie always goes in and out of his villainous formation. And the music is amazing as well. Like, the main Christmas theme that goes throughout the episode is so, like, bubbly and just fizzles with energy, with the whole da 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 da. I love that. And the songs they use is very good, like Trixie and Stephanie's song I Love Christmas is definitely, it's not like one of the greatest LazyTown songs ever, but it's a nice little way of showing the kids' enthusiastic passion for the holidays. But the song that really steals the show for me isn't, well, here's the thing. This episode has two versions, the regular version that we see on TV, but also an extended version with some deleted scenes stitched in, and as well as like the clips like flipped around in different formations. But in the extended version, which I watched for this video, there's a song from Robbie called Good to Be Bad, and I love that song every time I listen to it. It's so like, it gives him a sense of joy from explaining how he doesn't want to be good, he wants to be a bad guy. And even though he's singing about being a bad guy, there's something like kind of endearing about his enthusiastic passion for being a supervillain. I don't know, I just love that. But his like dancing, his vocal performance, like, I think that Stefan is a very good singer, and it's such a shame we can't hear him on Broadway anymore. I mean, I don't think he was ever on Broadway, but still. Overall, I think that this is a fantastic episode. Although, I will say, it doesn't have like the biggest moral story out of any other episode of LazyTown. Sure, I don't think it really needs to be, because it could just be a nice little simple, cozy, relaxing episode. But it does make it kind of like derail from some of the better episodes in LazyTown. But it doesn't change the fact that this is still a great episode and a great Christmas special. And if you love LazyTown and you love Christmas, I'd say give this one a watch. So I'm going to give LazyTown Surprise Santa a 4.5 out of 5. It's definitely a heck of an episode to watch, and I would recommend it if you like children's television and Christmas combined. So, that was my review of the first Christmas special episode of LazyTown. Now let's move on to the other one, which unfortunately was the last one that they made, but it still was a great one. This holiday special episode is called The Holiday Spirit. In this episode, the residents of LazyTown go over to the LazyTown gym area to get ready for a Christmas party, and all of the kids are discussing what they want for Christmas. But unfortunately, Stingy is his usual greedy self, and he wants to have every present that is on his friend's list. Meanwhile, we have Robbie, who is struggling to get into the Christmas season himself, and when he discovers that good boys and girls get presents from Santa, he realises that he's been a very naughty person this year. But he desperately wants to have some presents from Santa Claus, so he decides to help the residents of LazyTown get ready for their party. And when the residents invite Robbie to their Christmas party, he is so touched by this that he decides, as well as another way to get him on the nice list, he decides to help cook the Christmas turkey for the dinner. However, Robbie does kind of act like his usual lazy self, and when he uses a machine to stuff up the turkey and then goes to sleep, the turkey starts to overload, flying out of Robbie's lair and ends up destructing Santa during his flight over LazyTown, causing him and his sleigh to fall to the ground, but luckily Sportacus saves his life. Unfortunately, now Santa is in a bit of a pickle because not only has he landed in LazyTown, but the presents have fallen out of his sleigh during the crash. It turns out that the presents have landed next to Stingy's house. So, Stingy, thinking that Santa brought him what he wanted, decides to start playing with all the presents, until he realises that there's more to the meaning of the holiday spirit. I think that this holiday special, compared to the first one, has more layers and a more detailed story. Why? Well, I'll talk about some of the same things that the original holiday Christmas special episode LazyTown did. First of all, it still visually looks festive and wonderful. The snow, the snowmen, the decorations, the food. This episode does have some fuzziness to it as well as the meaningful atmosphere. And the characters are still their regular selves getting into the festive day. And I like that Stephanie has a lot of endearing moments where she tries to inspire the kids to learn more about what holiday spirits are. And I love when Stingy asks Stephanie what she wishes for. She says that she already has her Christmas wish, and that is to be with all her friends. I love that. I love that she has the most optimistic energy and most politeness out of anyone in LazyTown, which is just so endearing. And Sportacus as well still keeps up his spirit for the holidays. I love that he goes out of his way, even though it's the middle of the night, and even though he's supposed to be asleep from 8:08, he wakes up and realises somebody's in trouble, and he automatically rushes down to save Santa's life. It makes him the real heart of, the holidays it is. I also love this episode's version of Santa. He's very caring, he's very polite, he's very optimistic, but what I really like about him is that he kind of keeps, traits from both Sportacus and Robbie Rotten, because he keeps the same sort of inspirational speeches and morals for Sportacus, but there's a little part in the episode which I find funny, where he's trying to talk about what happened with all the presents and how the turkey landed up to his sleigh and he started falling down, and I love that he uses so much cartoony movement to describe the story, which kind of made it so hilarious, and it kind of reminds me of the many slapstick movements that Robbie would go through. But at the same time, we also feel sorry for him because he is the biggest Christmas figure that is known for delivering presents to everyone around the world. So when the presents fell out of his sleigh, he feels very vulnerable and feels like he failed everybody in LazyTown because he lost the presents. Of course, we know it wasn't his fault, it was the turkey's fault, the flying turkey, but we do feel sorry for him, and it's up to the residents of LazyTown to let him know that everything will be alright, and remind him the true meaning of Christmas. So even Santa needs a little bit of a reminding of what the holiday spirit is, and I think that makes him very polite, and also somebody for parents to look up to, because parents are dealing with the difficulties of making Christmas special for kids as well. But there are two characters that go through big character arcs in this episode. First off is Stingy. Now, of course, he ends up being his regular stingy self, with being greedy and being mine, 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 mine. However, when he's playing with the Christmas presents at his house, he realises that something is missing, and that is, presents are nothing to be loved for if you have nobody to share them with. So he feels lonely at Christmas, and it gives the kids a special meaning of you shouldn't be stuck up in your room playing with your toys, and that there's actual social company to spend time with around the holidays, which gives him the real meaning of what the holiday spirit is. It's up to Santa to remind him of that, and also let him know that he can feel the love for Christmas if he shares it with his friends. I think that it's a really awesome moment for Stingy's character, and like I said, it kind of carries on some character arcs that we've seen of Stingy in the past, like the original Christmas special episode where he wanted the present for himself, and also it kind of carries on from the character arc from season 3 episode 2 when he was struggling to give a present to Ziggy on his birthday. I like how some of these stories are kind of connected, and it pays off well in this episode, which makes Stingy a very good example of somebody who needs true guidance of the holiday spirit. However, Let's also talk about the other character that goes through the biggest Christmas spirit character arc throughout the episode, and in my opinion is the best part of the episode. Robbie Rotten. Now, of course, Robbie's going to be the best part of any LazyTown episode, but for this one, I think it's actually quite special. You see, Robbie throughout this episode seems to have like a little bit like a softer and like nervous side when he's trying to help out the residents of LazyTown with their Christmas party. When he goes in there, he actually kind of acts a bit awkward around them because he doesn't really have too many moments throughout the show. Sure, there are a few, but he doesn't have too many moments where he goes in there just for like social company or talkative like advice or to help them out with something. So he kind of is like having to take things slow at a time, going in there to talk to them. And I think it can really relate to anybody who has like a nervousness. They actually have like a decent heart, but they're so nervous to be in social company. And I think that can relate to anybody who has like a social problem with interacting with people. And when he tries to help out with all the Christmas decorations and the party, you can tell he's clearly doing it just for his own reasons because he wants to get presents. But I really love that he actually does have a heart for the Christmas season a little bit. He actually wants to get into the holiday spirit for the most part, because I think that he feels like, okay, maybe I can help these people, considering that they actually do a nice thing for Robbie and invite him to the Christmas party, which I think just his adorable smile and like response to it is like, oh, it's like, it's quite adorable. And he offers to help out with the Christmas turkey and the Christmas dinner, and somebody actually says, oh, that's very kind of you, and he's like, yeah, I try. And for me, I think he does actually try. Sure, he is still his selfish, lazy self, considering that he pretty much just lazes about his duties as the turkey cook by using a machine to stuff the turkey and goes to sleep. However, he can't escape the problems that is keeping him from getting into the real realm of what he secretly wants in life. Sure, he's a villain and he does act lazy and selfish, but behind all of that is a shield for covering up his inner self and his own remorseful nature, because we can tell that deep down he's a lonely man who really wants to have the perfect Christmas get-together with all of these residents of LazyTown, as well as like giving him the satisfaction that he needs around this time, but his selfish laziness can get in the way of that dream that he has. So, in a way to really give Robbie the real reason as to why the Christmas spirit is important, he gets a really big thank you moment from Thank You Moment at the end of the episode. I will not give away the resolution, but I think what the residents do for him at the end is something that he's been waiting to hear for a very long time and wanting to see for a very long time, which gives him more reason as to why LazyTown should be the way it is. Sure, he'll always like try to like make it lazy again episodes later, but for now, I think that it was probably the best part of the episode. Besides the musical number of the episode by Stephanie and the Friends, this was one of the best parts of the episode. And in my opinion, I think it really reflects on Robbie's character arc throughout the show, because as I mentioned earlier, there are very few times where there are episodes where Robbie is not a villain, and instead is actually being social with the LazyTown residents. As I mentioned in my review of the show in general, I love that whenever he's in a disguise or he's planning an evil scheme or something, deep down it's kind of a way to kind of get out there and like act like the kind of upbeat person that he sometimes wishes he could be but struggles to enjoy embracing. And this episode I think is one of the 3 examples in season 3 anyways where Robbie is like evolving as a character. The first one was in season 3 episode 2 during Ziggy's birthday party, and the last one that he was in was the first day of summer, and this is the next part of that. I think that on an emotional level, season 3 is probably my favourite season for the Robbie character. Now, in terms of comedy, I think season 1 takes the king, but on a deeper level, I think that season 3 Robbie is quite special. And it's... Man, I'm really going into detail as to the hidden layers that Robbie has, but I just can't help it. This is what makes Robbie one of my favourite television villains of all time. He's somebody who has like a crease in laziness and villainy, but he's really using that as a shield to hide his inner remorseful and kind of deep heart that he truly has deep down. Of course, he'll always be a villain, but there are some occasions where he does show some remorsefulness and really get the feeling that he's just a lonely man who just needs company. I can't help but feel sorry for him, actually. He's having so much fun being like a bad guy, but also has layers that I always kind of end up rooting for him throughout the show, even though he's trying to do villainous activities. But I think that's what makes Robbie such an amazing character, and this episode presents that very well. My only nitpick is that I wish we could have seen more of him. I mean, granted, there are other storylines in the episode with Stingy, but I really wish that Robbie was in the episode a bit more, because he does spend a good chunk of the episode asleep in his chair. But again, it's only a nitpick, and I still think it was fantastic in the episode. And the music is still amazing as well. I love the musical number about the holiday spirit and the holiday times, sung by Stephanie and her friends, as well as Santa Claus. It's very upbeat and just gets you into the jolly mood, and it's very like bombastic a bit as well. I also love seeing Santa getting jiggy and energetic during this Christmas musical number. The actor for Santa, I bet he was like a huge LazyTown fan at the time and incorporated hints of the goodness of Sporticus and the over-the-top energeticness of Robbie Rotten. I think that makes him such a riot to watch in this song. And this is something that could go back to the other Christmas special, Surprise Santa. I love like the jingly sounds you hear during the big Bing Bang song. Remember the Bing Bang song? They sing at the end of the episode like, Bing Bang Digger-a-dong. The Christmas version of that in both LazyTown Surprise Santa and the Holiday Spirit is so lovely to listen to, and it's a great way to close the episodes off on a great note. In my opinion, I think this is definitely the better episode out of the two. I love LazyTown Surprise Santa, but this one I think has more layers, more deep meanings of Christmas, and I think that Santa was a great guest character, and Robbie's character arc throughout the episode, as well as the entire show, is very engaging to watch. And I think that honestly, with Robbie's character arc, I think this could be one of the two episodes that I would consider the series finale. This one and The Last Day of Summer. But anyway, I'm going to give this episode 4 3/4 of a star out of 5. I think it's a near perfect episode. The only thing I think they could have benefited on is showing more of Robbie's character, but I think it's mainly because I love him so much. But anyway, I thought this was a fantastic episode. And both episodes combined are the real demonstration of how LazyTown could show Christmas in an episode. And both of these I would definitely watch every year. They are so inspiring, fuzzy, delightful to watch, and reminds me so much of why LazyTown is a fantastic show. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the episodes of LazyTown. Let me know in the comment section below whether you like these Christmas episodes, and what is your favourite Christmas special of a television show, both any or children's television. Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway guys, I now take off this hat, hold it to my heart, and really give my best to let you all know that I wish you a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you are having so much fun watching Christmas specials, drinking hot chocolate, spending time with your family, getting the inner child out through the heart and love of Christmas, and really signal amazement that this holiday can bring. Sure, there are a few times this year where I felt like I had a bit of struggles now and again, dealing with like a lot of work, and also a few little like bad luck moments where I was trying to film videos, but some contingencies got in the way. But I think that this holiday can still give me part of happiness that I can give out in front of this camera. And I hope you enjoyed this review. And I hope you love this Christmas. I wish you luck. And I hope 2025 will turn out to be an amazing year. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and wish you luck in the Happy New Year of 2025. Till then, peace out, man. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you, and to all a good night.